what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match TV. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match TV. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match TV. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match TV. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Yeah, buddy, that's right. Get exposure right now. Holler at the homie Paul Mash, man, for Paul Mash TV. Hit up Paul Mash TV across all social media sites, alright? Who we got next? Got next.
Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time once again. We're glad that you could join us. Got a great interview coming up very shortly. But before we do that, be sure to check me out on Roku, channel Grind City Network, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. If you don't have Roku, that's fine. Just go to grindcity.biz, B-I-Z, and watch the online player. And also download the Grind City app on your phone using Google Play. We'll help you do that for us. And be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell here on YouTube. And you're always going to get the latest interviews whenever they're available. And use the comment section as well to let us know what you think. We also have links there on that comment section to caps and t-shirts and things. So we want to know you want to take advantage of that. If you'd like to email us, it's paulmashtv, all one word, at gmail.com. And that's good for not just fans, but for bands and solo artists who want to be on the show. We'll show you how to do that. Go to Facebook, facebook.com/PaulMashTV, which is our official Facebook page. Be sure to like the page, inboxes, comment on what you see there. And we also have an official web address as well. So we'll recap all of that in the closing credits at the end of the show. So stay tuned for that. And now from Republic, Missouri, we've got Obsouleet, a very talented artist. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. So we'll get to that in just a minute. But here's a quick word from Click Jam. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could.
Okay, interview time again, and here we are from Republic, Missouri. We're talking to Obsouleet. Thanks for joining us, Obsouleet.
Thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. We're glad to have you today. So tell us a little bit about how Obsouleet got started in the music business. I mean, everyone has their own story, so let's hear it from your end.
Well, where I'm at currently, I've been doing it for about 11 years now. I spent 10 years doing it under a different name. I went by the name of Two-Face. I was part of a kind of two-man group, I guess, so to speak. I had a guy that I made music with from the day I started making music up until the point that him and I decided to go separate ways for several different reasons. I feel like most of that was, I was more capable of what he was allowing me to do and was kind of holding me back to a sense. So I walked away from music for a little while, had kids, spent a lot of time being a father and focusing on that. But music's just something that I've always loved to do. So when I decided to start doing music again, I knew I kind of had to reinvent myself, so to speak. So in doing that, I was like, well, if I'm going to reinvent myself, then I want to have a whole new name. I don't want to be who I used to be because I don't want to be affiliated with, what I was. I am doing this my way now, all on my own. I have the studio at home that I bought myself. I'm, working on getting my mixing and mastering down a lot better because, obviously that's another expense that comes with this music. And right now, after the studio equipment, I'm trying to generate the buzz to at least, recoup a little bit of that cost so I can start spending that money accordingly. So I decided to go with Obsouleet. I drew that from, I'm a huge wrestling fan. I've been a wrestling fan since I was a little kid. And Jeff Hardy's always been one of my favorite wrestlers. And he was in TNA for a while, and he has this band that is actually called Oxygen, and that was one of his songs was Obsouleet. And it was just kind of something when I started thinking of names and what I wanted to call myself, I kind of drew some inspiration from that, and that's how I got where I'm at now.
Oh, okay. That's a great story, man. I'm glad that you made it as far as you did, and I guess I'll be expecting more things from you in the future, too. So.
Oh, yeah. My goal right now, I'm trying to release at least one song a week. just to kind of generate the buzz to say, hey, I'm back doing music again, obviously under the new name, like I said, and just kind of, let everybody know that I didn't walk away, even though the depression and, everything else going on in life, told me I should. And like I said, music's something I've always loved, and it's kind of like my release. It's a hobby, but at the same time, I make it work because at the end of the day, I know the potential is there, and if I stay on my own ass to do it, then anything can come from it. And everybody needs to have a dream, whether big, small. That's what we're all here for. Nobody just wants to work a regular 9 to 5 and get by.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good. What would you say your biggest mainstream influences are? I mean, a lot of people have their own, so.
Growing up, it was Eminem, and I got that a lot when I went to Job Corps. Actually, that was my nickname. Everybody called me B Rabbit. I was the white kid running around Job Corps, freestyle battling anybody that would listen. And so Eminem was a huge one growing up. The older I got, I fell in love with Tech Nine. With that, Ritz, Chris Calico. I've recently become a huge fan of Jordan Lucas as well. Kendrick Lamar's guys like that. To me, I guess I hate to call it that, but the poetry rap, man. Music about telling a story. If I can't, almost look at a picture when I'm listening to your music, it's not for me per se. I'm not knocking what these guys do, the radio hits and stuff like that. But to me, music is painting that picture for somebody. I want somebody, when I speak my lyrics, I want you to kind of get a better understanding of who I am, and that's what I look for in music. So my biggest one right now, I'm listening to a lot of Jelly Roll. I've been a Jelly Roll fan for years, and seeing the love that he's finally getting really makes me happy for him. He's really deserves it, and he's one of my favorite artists right
Mhm. Okay, yeah, and of course Eminem, he's a legend, so you
now.
can't
Of
go wrong
course.
with that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your music, on where you can find all your things? I mean, I'm sure it's on all streaming platforms, but if you
Yep,
got,
I've got it everywhere. It's up Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. I use DistroKid for my distribution simply because that seemed like the easiest. Like I said, doing this all on my own, I learned. I watched the guy I did it with for 10 plus years do it all the wrong ways. He was all in it for the money, and which was fine. I mean, we should have recouped some of the money we did put into it, yes, but he did it all the wrong ways. So I've watched this and watched what we did wrong, and the wrong ways, and I learned, okay, well, how can I make this easy on me to a point that I can still get my music out, and with what little knowledge I have. So I went with DistroKid, and obviously it gives me the option to upload it pretty much everywhere. So anywhere you can look up Obsolete as it's spelled, it'll pull it right up, and I've got 3 songs out up there right now. And then tomorrow I'm going to be finishing up another one, and then that'll be released sometime next week.
okay, well that's good. Everybody go out there and get Obsolete music. I'm sure you'd appreciate that. Uh, and again, speaking of your music, we're getting ready to watch a video in just a moment or two. It's called "Get Famous." Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about the song? That there's a story behind it. We'd love to hear.
Get Famous is actually a concept, a buddy of mine that I've never met in real life. I've been friends with him on Facebook for about 5 years now. Last year, he sent me this instrumental, and he was kind of getting back into music, and he was like, man, I'd really like you to, spit some verses on this. And so I sent him back what I did, and somewhere along the lines, he got more into making his music videos and going to school that he's doing now, and never really did anything. And I really love those 2 verses, and, it never got released anywhere. So I had found a beat recently when I started making music again that kind of was similar to what him and I were doing. And I reached out to him. I said, hey, man, we never really finished that track. Did you ever plan on it? And if not, I'd like to do my own and kind of run with the concept you had and, make it my own. And he's like, man, I think that'd be a great idea. Music's just not really my passion anymore. And I'd hate to see you, waste good talent on, nothing. So I took the verses that I had and I kind of edited them and tweaked them a little bit, and then wound up writing a third verse for it because, like I said, I had 2 verses and he was supposed to take the third one on the original beat. So I had written a third verse for it and decided that after the My Story track, which was my kind of debut coming back as Obsolete, that Get Famous would be the next best single to put out, and it's receiving a lot of love so far. I've actually got it on a Spotify playlist. It'll be going on sometime this week that a guy on my friends on Facebook has put on there for me. And it's getting a lot of positive feedback. So
Okay, well that's good. And it's a pretty good song, and I know everybody out there will enjoy it. Excuse me. So we'll bounce right into that in a second, but I want to thank you, Obsouleet, for being on the show, and we'd love to have you back sometime if ever got anything good to plug for us.
Oh, I'd love to be back, man. And I'm again grateful for the opportunity you're giving not only myself, but everybody else. And, I'll be sure to share you around on Facebook and hopefully bring you some more guys. I got a guy I think I'm actually going to refer you to after we get off this conference here and, just get you a little more love because you're doing a great thing for us people out here. These small guys that don't have the big record label money and the funds. This gives us a different opportunity to kind of let people see the other side of us and get to know us a little bit better. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, you made my day, Obsouleet. We appreciate the kind words there.
Thank you.
So without further ado, let's watch Obsouleet get famous right here on Paul Mash TV. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
A war is raging inside the belly of a beast, thirsty for redemption yet cautious from prior failures. He looks inside the mirror and realizes the man he has become is the monster he swore to have slain. Greatness knocking on the door, his past calling from the distance, whispers in the wind trying to snuff his flame.
This was my time, why do I rhyme? I stay on the rise and never get shine. Losing my mind while trying to find the evasive light that they call lime. Fuck about trade, never know my name. I'm in the wrong game, need to change my lane. I'm just a lame, no one else to blame. I never have fame, it's such a shame. I try and I fail, I never prevail. I'm going through hell, shit riding the sail. I scream and I yell, my life is as well. Should've done things differently. Oh well, was born to lose and sing the blues. Need some blues and a better life to choose. Should've been the rules, just go for fools. Told to build my dream, but I got no tools. I'ma be shit and everybody knows it. If one door open, they just close. It's tired of trying and feeling hopeless. Stressing and depression make it hard to focus. What am I doing here? Do I have a purpose? My own parents told me that I'm just worthless. A bitter pill to swallow. How am I supposed to feel when I'm the only one in the family tree that knows anything about being real? I should just give it up, quit while I'm ahead. No one knows I exist. Sometimes think I should be better off dead. Greatness ain't worth the weight you take it. Today's the day, tomorrow ain't, so stake it. The way just plays, the path is paved to map your name and back the game, get famous. Greatness ain't worth the weight you take it. Today's the day, tomorrow ain't, so stake it. The way just plays, the path is paved to map your name and back the game, get famous. Okay, it's time to be honest with myself. I said self, I think we just might need some help. My only enemy is the man in my reflection, not accepting greatness on this path that search for perfection. Problem is, if you cut me, blood wouldn't be shed. Triple cliffs and 808s is my DNA, even after I'm dead. Was meant to speak my soul, pour my heart inside of these lyrics. Hate to be cliche, but it's like I've been blessed by the spirits that have come and gone long before I was born, helping me in my weakest moments to keep me strong. Point is, I live and die for this, even when I tell myself I ain't shit. The world's too big of a box, I wasn't made to fit. Call it a dream or say I'm out of my mind. Nothing will stop me from the destiny that I'm meant to find. Like a phoenix resurrected and rose from the ashes of the burning bridges, holding a can of gasoline. It's a match. Greatness ain't worth the weight you take it. Today's the day, tomorrow ain't, so stake it. The way just plays, the path is paved to map your name and back the game, get famous. Greatness ain't worth the weight you take it. Today's the day, tomorrow ain't, so stake it. The way just plays, the path is paved to map your name and back the game, get famous. See what I'm trying to tell you, I'm not boo-boo the fool. Won't take an IOU, and if it's fuck me, then it's fuck you too. Loyalty unlike any other, go to war for mine. Wanna find out, go ahead and cross that line. My passion for music had it ever since I was knee high. Depression said I walked away, my heart said that's a lie. I'm my biggest critic and my biggest opponent. Told myself for too long I probably already missed my moment. Then I reminded myself it was never about the fame, but I had confined myself to a box and formed to a name. A man with two faces inside a bed of one. it's going down was right, it was over before it ever begun. Spent a decade trying to figure out where I went wrong. Realized all I needed was myself all alone. I bought my soul back and I won't mention the price. All I saw was snake eyes when I rolled the dice. It's obsolete.
Greatness ain't worth the weight you take it. Today's the day, tomorrow ain't, so stake it. The way just placed, the path is paved to map your name and back the game, get famous.